So today was a little bit a difficult day for me today. Sorry, I'm having a cigarette. Sorry about hitting the mic. Today was a very difficult day. It was, and there's going to be a lot of traffic. I'm sitting on my balcony. I need that little bit of air. It was a bit warm today. Mom wanted to go out early, and so I decided to get dressed. And you know how I talked about subconscious in your mind, things that you should do? I took my mom to visit my brother. The only thing we needed to do was fill out a form. We haven't been out of the country, blah, 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 quarantine, all that stuff, and show proof of getting our 2 vaccines. And so we went to visit my brother. My heart was breaking. It was emotional, but I kept cool. I talked to him like I have many, many times. Maybe with a little bit more endearment, calmness. I touched him a lot, touched his arm, rubbed his back. He didn't know who I was. He didn't know Mom. He couldn't make eye contact anymore. He was so bent over. My brother has always had tall, straight posture. And to see him hunched over like he couldn't stand straight anymore. And seeing someone like that, especially someone you love, it was really hard. Even though I told Mom who he was, even though I tell Mom who I am, basically Mom just knows that I love her and I'm with her all the time and I look after her. But relationship, that's been lost. And after our visit, Mom said to me in the car, "Who was that man we were visiting?" And when we got home, she couldn't remember that we stopped to visit. I called my brother's wife while we were there. Put her on FaceTime. And she saw Mom, and hi, Mom, and how are you? She loved Mom. Mom was very good to her in her coherent days, I guess is what I could say, earlier days. And she said, do you remember me? You know, my sister-in-law is so determined to know that they both know who we are. And after Mom looked at me, after I had changed the face to my brother and myself, Mom looked at me and said, who is that? You know, I didn't want to hurt Mary Lucy's feelings by telling her Mom doesn't remember you. It's heartbreaking to see the person I knew not there anymore. I'm living with Mom. You know, I'm living with her on a daily basis. I wash her, I dress her, I brush her hair, I give her a bath, I give her an enema when she needs it. You know, all the things a nurse would do, I'm doing for my mother. I couldn't look after my brother. I think the next time I visit, I'm going to download some music that he used to love and play it for him to see if it would bring some joy to him. He has no joy. You know, when we go through things like this, we grieve instead of enjoying the time we have with them. We grieve because we've lost them, because we've lost who they were. It's something I will not want for myself. The wind is blowing, the door open and close, so if you hear any banging. I'm going to make an appointment with a lawyer and state in my will that should I be afflicted the way my brother is, I want a little pill to go to sleep forever. Even if I have to fly to Switzerland or France or whatever country will allow us to quietly leave this world with some dignity. Dignity. Mom still has dignity. Even though her memory is going, but her dementia, she still has pride in how she looks. She still likes to look nice. She still likes to have her hair brushed and hairspray. My brother has none of that. As I was looking at him, I was remembering all the times I would call him and ask him It's a bus. Call him and ask him for advice on things, or just talk. He was always so upbeat, always happy. I was the quieter one. He was the happy one. And he's gone. He's in pain. They're giving him morphine for pain. I felt the need to talk about it. I felt the need to remember him the way he was, like a young man, a little boy. We couldn't stay long because anytime we go visiting, even my daughter with the kids, we're there 10 minutes. Mom's saying, when are we going home? When are we leaving? When are we leaving? I wanted to spend more time with my brother. I put Mom off a couple of times. I put Mama off. In a little while, Mom, in a little while. Because I just wanted to be with him. I just wanted to try and connect with him. So one of the things that were haunting in the back of my mind was to take Mom to visit. I knew it was going to be heartbreaking. I prepared myself. I just didn't know it was that bad. I've made my decision. I've had to live through helping our elderly family. My grandmother, my aunt, my uncle, my mother, my brother, all of them with different forms of dementia, Alzheimer's. Most of them were over 80. My brother's 68. And he looks like an old man of 90. I just wanted to hug him. But for as bad as I feel, and for as bad as I feel after, I'm going to visit him more often. Even if it's every day. I need to do that. I need. You know, the tears are not because I haven't seen him in a long time, or because of his condition. The tears are from how can I explain it? He's not there anymore. His personality, his character, his temperament, the person I knew has been lost in his mind, I pray for him to have peace, no pain, and all I can do is hope that he will go to sleep and not wake up. No more pain, no more confusion. I think this was one of the things that was nagging me. I was afraid to go. I was afraid to see what I saw. I was afraid to see him lost and not being able to do anything about it. Many years ago, my mom gave me a book on Mother's Day. I think it's called The Purpose-Driven Life. I think his last name is Warren, something Warren. Where if you read the whole thing, it's supposed to help you find your purpose in life. I think this was my purpose. My purpose was to, there's a car going there, to raise my family, be on my own, be free, be independent, be loving and kind and caring and compassionate to people. And in my later years, to look after my mom. And watch my brother and pray for him. We were the only two kids growing up, and we fought a lot. He was my younger brother, a year and a half younger. He was always impish. When I had girlfriends over, him and his friends would bug us, and he always had a giggle and a laugh. I look back now, I mean, it was a pain then, but I look back now and see the cuteness in him. Because I had children and I know how they got along or didn't get along. There are a lot of things that we can hate about getting old, and there's a lot of things we can be blessed for as we age. A lot of things. Seeing the world change, watching our grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and nieces and nephews and so on, growing up, doing their own thing, having their own life, so much differently than what we've had. Doing crafts, doing gardening, sitting and just watching nature. These challenges that are presented to us are challenges that we need to learn from. Sometimes it's hard to find what it is I'm supposed to learn, and sometimes it's obvious. It is just sits there right in your face. And the reason I wanted to sit down with a cup of tea and talk to you about it, my door was open and I was sitting at my desk on my computer watching a video, maybe an Oprah video or something, and I saw a turtle dove sit on my balcony. And I talked to him and asked him, during my time of crisis, what did you bring? Did you bring me hope? Oh, it was beautiful. The colors were beautiful. It sat proud. And I thought, are you bringing me a little peace? Are you bringing me a little hope? And maybe a little bit of God's love? Because I sure need it. I needed to do this video today. I needed to talk about my brother, my mother. And for all the joy that I have been given and my spiritual awakening or my feeling good about myself and trying to overcome so many difficulties and actually succeeding. I needed to solve some of those matters that were in my subconscious that I talked about. And one of them was to go see my brother. I hope and pray that if you're ever in a situation like this, or had been, my heart goes out to you. I pray that God will give you the strength to see beyond the sickness, to see beyond the suffering, and to remember that that person was important in your life. Nothing ages you more than seeing someone who is older than you and is spry and active and full of compassion and love. And I see a lot of people like that. A lot of friends, a lot of family. And I get my strength from them. And I have to be thankful. I get my strength from my mother, from my grandmother, from my father, from my grandfather, from my ancestors, who together formed me and gave me the opportunity to care for my mom when she needed someone to care for her. I just wanted to share that with you. I know it's not. Here's the bus. I wanted to share this with you. It's raw. It may be offensive to some people. It may be... It may be something that you don't want to know about or hear about. But I needed to talk about it. I needed this. I needed to sit here and just talk. Talk about my brother. I see him now as a little boy with my grandfather's hat. My grandfather used to wear hats all the time. My dad's dad. He loved wearing hats. That one was up. I'm going to go check on her now and see if she is. Sometimes she gets up after she's been in bed for a bit. But, for as much as it hurts, for as much as your heart breaks, if you have a member of your family who is suffering from dementia and Alzheimer's, swallow your pride. Go visit them. Even if it hurts, even if it breaks your heart. Spiritual connection is so important. Do it. My daughter told me when I mentioned about my brother and going to visit. She told me when she worked in long-term geriatric ward at her hospital, how I felt leaving, and telling her how heartbroken I was and leaving my brother. She said that's why people never came to visit their patients, because they couldn't handle it. And to be honest, I think that's cowardice. It is cowardice. And you need to stir as much compassion as you possibly can. I mean, I'm talking about this now because of COVID, we couldn't visit, and I was afraid to take Mom, but we've had both our vaccines. They had taken perfectly excellent precautions when we were there, filled out all the forms, and I could visit. And it was the first time I felt safe enough to bring Mom to visit. And I told my daughter, you know, if I wasn't looking after Mom, I would be visiting my brother every day. Not that he would know I'm there. Not that I need to prove anything to anyone. But simply just to touch him and let our spirits be together. And somewhere maybe deep inside he would know that his sister loved him. When it first, COVID first came out and we couldn't visit out at all, I felt so bad because he was more lucid. He knew who I was. And if I had been able to visit him more often, he would have been familiar with me and he would have known who I was. And even if he did lose that as he got more and more sick, his spirit, his heart would have known. His mind might have forgotten. But a person doesn't forget compassion and love. A person doesn't. Somewhere deep inside. Anyway, that was my day. And I did want to share it. And I wanted it to be raw. And I wanted it to be honest. And I know a lot of you have been through this worse than I have. But I just thought it was important to share it, and I really needed to do that. And I hope you'll forgive me for that, but I really needed to. And I want to thank you for allowing me to lay my heart out and my feelings. But I have to be strong for them. And even though I have to be strong, I need a little crying time. I need a little feel sorry for me time. Shake it off and get on with life. And that's what I need to do. So thanks for allowing me to share my story. We'll see you again soon. Bye for now.